Right. So it's a little bit of a grayer day here in Vancouver, but you're definitely, filling my cup with sunshine being here. And I don't know about you, but I feel like, we may need a little bit of a joke today. It's Friday. I could use a laugh. So you never know what we could get up to. We got to spice up the sleep, right? I think so. So my name is Linnette, in-house aromatherapist at Sage, and I'm a certified registered aromatherapist and holistic nutritionist. And this week I just started year 2 of a doctorate in Oriental medicine. And I've had the pleasure of being with Sage for over 11 years. And one thing that I've really seen firsthand is how health priorities have changed over this time. So sleep has become a top wellness need of our community. And we know this because of the ever-growing popularity of our sleep products. So I am no sleep expert, I would say, but I too struggle with sleep. And it really started with a personal trauma that led me to just needing the quickest Band-Aid type solution in the moment, which happened to be taking prescription sleeping pills. And I never felt rested. I felt like symptoms continued to worsen. And after a year of taking them, I knew I was dependent on them and I knew I needed a change. So I looked to something natural like most of us do. And so what I found was with the support of my doctor, I was able to slowly get off of it. And I discovered a remedy called Sleep Well. And we playfully like to refer to this at Sage as the hammer because for most people, it really does put you out. And so this is really what saved me and helped me get, a healthier, natural state of sleep. So that was almost 12 years ago now. And since then, I have, chased the dream, so to speak, of the perfect, recipe for sleep. And most nights right now, I do win as long as I set my day up really intentionally. So my best advice to you before we go through our time today is a concept of a good night's sleep starts the day before. Be intentional with how you plan your day so that you can set yourself up for a good night's snooze. So at Sage, we hear from many people who struggle with sleep. And if that's you, I'd say don't wait until you actually have a problem. I'd encourage you to really explore your sleep issues. And, if that's not something that you struggle with, like you can always get better quality of rest. So if you're here watching, probably no better time than now to really start looking at how you can improve your sleep. And, more than ever, I think that both of us would agree that our immune systems need to be as fortified as possible. So one of the biggest contributing factors is sleep. It's our time to heal, to rest, to renew, and that's really what's going to set us up. So my wish for you is that taking these small steps today are really going to help you to feel your absolute best, and that sleep comes so incredibly naturally to you that you can do it with your eyes closed. Yes, just a little sleep pun in there for you. But in all seriousness, we are also biochemically unique, that what works for me may not work exactly for you. So what I'm going to tell you about are, the things that I've learned over 12 years, and treat it like a buffet. Take what really works for you, leave what doesn't work for you. And if you still have questions, please do let us know. Now you can reach out to us in 3 different ways. One is hello@sage.com, send us an email. You can also reach out to us here on social media. And you can book a virtual wellness appointment. And that's just as easy as a click at sage.com. And then you can be talking to someone about, anything that you want to. Sleep is definitely a topic that you can touch on with them. So let's start with a sage breath. And yeah, let's grab something energizing. I know we're talking about sleep, but I have been using our energy blend. I love this one because it has basil, it has peppermint, lemon, so really, really uplifting. But feel free to get a single note. You can smell it right out of the bottle. But what we're going to do is open your remedy up. Now, this one has carrier oil in it, so it's safe to put direct on skin. And I'll invite you to put a nice generous amount just in the palm of your hand. And we are going to rub our hands together, place them just over the nose and mouth, taking a deep breath in. And just hold it for 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it out. Great. Let's do that one more time. So deep breath in. Hold it in for 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Great. So I'd really like to take a moment and talk about what we just did there. So you can tap into that pure blissful energy anytime you need. And get your family involved. I think it's a really good time for everyone. So I have a question for you. Is anyone here drinking more caffeine than usual? I know I was. And so a new healthy habit that you can try out is if you need a boost, instead of going right for caffeine, try a breath like this. And as you inhale the, zesty aromas of lemon, I would also invite you to have a tall glass of water at that time and drink the whole thing down. Wait 5 minutes and see how you feel. Most of the time, the water is just what I need, and with the boost of essential oils, I feel regenerated. Now, if I still need a little something, if I can have a cat nap for 10 to 15 minutes, I'll do that. But if you still feel tired, I'd say wait till the very last moment to go for that caffeine and see how that feels. Now, if you're making this a habit, know that each time you're breathing in the healing power of plants, you're actually rewiring the way that the brain thinks about natural energy. So I hope you're feeling all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and ready to talk about sleep. So friends, I could really not have dreamt up better questions. Just another little sleep pun for you there, just to make sure that I'm not putting you to bed. Want to keep you on your toes, but really, truly great questions. So I'm going to gaze into your eyes now and read through our very first question. So the first one is, how do essential oils support sleep? And I think it's really important to talk about the science. So essential oils are made up of plant molecules that are highly volatile. And these complex chemical structures are created in nature and found in plants like herbs, the flowering heads of plants, also petals, roots, peels, and wood or bark. So plants create these in nature for one of two reasons, both reasons actually. So protection and to attract pollinators. And essential oils are really known as the life force of the plant. One method that we use to extract essential oils is through steam distillation of the plant part. And then the final product that we use is the medicine. So that is our essential oil. Now, the molecules that make up essential oils are so small and evaporate really easily. And if you have an oil, open it up and you'll see what I mean. So when you smell them, these little molecules are actually entering in the nose and they're affecting a part of the brain called the limbic system. Now, these molecules will send messages through the body via hormones and chemical reactions will occur. Now, if you've ever had the experience of feeling panicked or frightened, that's a state far, far from being able to fall asleep, right? So just the smell of lavender can bring on an immediate sense of calm over the body. And one of the major constituents of lavender that we can thank for this is called linalool, which is also found in other plants like basil, hoewood, and jasmine. So using restful oils like lavender, plus the act of applying them on our body, really helps to support a deeper state of rest. Now, when you apply oils on topically, you're actually, massaging those in. So you're getting some of the aroma, which is a part of aromatherapy, but you're actually absorbing the oils through the hairs on your body. So the oils go into the hair and into the bloodstream and start to work their magic. So a little bit of both will really help to support. And our body works really well with routine. So just a simple act of using essential oil remedies before bed really helps. And it doesn't take more than just a few minutes. You can add some oils to your diffuser or just put some remedies on your jaw and you're ready to go to sleep. So great question. Just take a little break. Okay, our next question is, what oils support a deeper state of rest? Well, I have 5 that are kind of my absolute favorites that I like to talk to you about. And just know we have an extensive line of sleep products that are all formulated for everything from snoring to restlessness to overthinking before bed. And one thing I'd encourage you to do is explore why you can't sleep. I know that may sound a little silly, like why wouldn't you know? But for me personally, I really had to watch what I was doing in my lifestyle to really see how I could improve it. So asking, why can't I sleep can sometimes help you pair up with the right remedy that will help you or the right essential oils. So let's talk about the 5 that I want to really point out. So I have some of the dry herbs here. And one of the first ones that I want to talk to you about is one that I discovered in culinary school. And it is this one right here. It's called marjoram. And a friend of mine in school was telling me a little bit about how she grew up having soups before dinner because it was really easy for digestion. And they would add marjoram because of the calming properties. So it was kind of like a win-win. They'd have a light dinner and be able to fall asleep naturally with ease. So I've really, kind of grown accustomed to adding some of this into my soups and having them for dinner. Now, the essential oil of marjoram really is known to support a mental state during time of stress. And it's featured in a blend that we have called Snore No More. Now, in Canada, this blend is called Snore No More. And the very same blend is actually called Peaceful Slumber in the US. So same blend, but different names. And we actually have this also for the diffuser. And it is called Peaceful Slumber both in the US and in Canada. And this is a really, really great blend that I've noticed really helps me to take deeper breaths in, which, I'm not a snorer, but it really does help with snoring. So the next herb that we're going to talk about is valerian, and it is a really potent herb that's widely used and studied for its ability to induce sleep and improve the quality. Now, if you got to catch my friend Trevor's talk on herbology, he actually harvested a beautiful valerian plant right from his garden. So if you haven't seen that, please check that out. Also, chamomile roman. I have a little bit of it here. I'm sure you're very, very familiar with it. You can see those little leaves right there. So chamomile roman is really widely known for its ability to calm the mind, soothe the nerves, and particularly related to insomnia. And both of the valerian and chamomile roman are both found in a blend called Dream State. Now, our 4th oil needs no introduction. She is known as the mother of all essential oils. And yes, I'm talking about lavender. I love lavender. And a practice that I love is putting 1 drop on my pillow just before bed. Maybe you've tried this yourself. And for those of you who haven't tried it, Just one little reminder that with essential oils, less is more, and particularly lavender. Because if you are pouring lavender on your pillow, it can actually give more of a stimulating effect and keep you awake. And you don't want that, right? So just one drop, that's all you need. And our last oil is orange. And I think, some people think orange is really energizing, but it is gifted in both that it gives rest and energy. So this is a really nurturing and gentle oil, and it's also featured in our Daydream and our Aroma Fairy Children's Diffuser Blend. So those are my top 5. Now, a side question was to me personally, so what am I using for a deeper state of rest? So I kind of have like my go-tos, and right now there are 3 of them. And so what I do is about an hour before rest, I go into my bedroom, I open up the windows, get a little bit of cool air circulating, and then I turn on my diffusers and I add Tranquility. I really love Tranquility. It's got that sweetness that I love, the ylang ylang. It's just really, really, really peaceful. The next step is right after I'm done that, I apply a little bit of Sleepwell just along my jawline. So a nice, generous coat on there. And then about, kind of right before I'm ready for sleep, I will grab one of the thickest textbooks that I have. One of those books that'll really keep you on the edge of your seat while you read it. Not so much. It's going to put me to bed. But what I do is I read a little bit of that. And just before I do that, I apply Sleepwell body butter all over my legs, my feet. And that really helps to kind of create a little bit of a cooling sensation. And I find that my legs get restless, and this really helps with that. So great question. Thank you for asking. Now, this next one is a little bit interesting. I'm just going to read it out to you. Sounds a little suspicious, but it says, when you dream in color, is it a pigment of your imagination? Come on, guys, not even a little hee-hee on that one? Okay, that one was a joke, but, oh my goodness, I see a comment coming in. It says, stand-up comedy is not your forte. Okay, well, I get it, but I just want to throw that in. And since we are on the topic, vivid dreams is a subject that comes up quite often. So if that's something that you're experiencing, we often find that if you're using Sleepwell, it could be the valerian in the Sleepwell. And having vivid dreams can be fun for some. For others, it can leave you feeling like you've been working all night. So if that's something that you're experiencing, I'd say try a different essential oil blend. So you could try Snore No More or Peaceful Slumber, or even Tranquility, and that should help. But let us know. Thanks for putting up with that joke. So our next question is, where is the best place to apply oils? I have heard the soles of the feet are good. Is that true? Well, this question comes up often, and full transparency, I personally love putting essential oils on my feet. Now, I'll also add that essential oils are absorbed through hair follicles, like we touched on earlier. So I have yet to really find research showing that the soles are the best place. However, I think if you enjoy this practice, keep it up. Why not? Some top places that I recommend that you apply essential oils would be your jawline. So this is such a great place for, clenching, any kind of tension, grinding. I personally use Pain Release all along the sides, and that really helps me with any kind of tension. The other thing that you can do is apply like a figure 8 around the eyes. So you want to keep far away from the eyes, but do a figure 8 around the eyes. And this is really helpful for blends like Snore No More or Peaceful Slumber. You can also apply it on the chest area. Really nice way to really be able to smell the product after you put it on. And then, of course, the legs and feet are really important to cool the body and support restlessness. So give those ones a try. Our next question is, can I run my diffuser all night? Well, the answer is yes. So they can be run all night because they shut off when they're out of water. Now, some of our units actually offer an intermittent run time. So that's where it goes on and then off. So it gives little light bursts. And this is really great for if you're diffusing in a child's room. It's highly recommended to use an intermittent setting, as well as if you have pets sharing your sleeping space. And diffusers are amazing. If you've ever slept beside a diffuser, just the air quality alone leaves your skin feeling so light and fresh and rehydrated. And they're also giving off negative ions, which is really, really great for kind of removing any dust, allergen, or particle that's flowing in the air and getting that out of your breathing space. Wonderful. Are you still with me, team? Great. All right, so our next question is, what are some of your bedtime rituals? Well, my best tip is really to start in the morning and incorporate healthy habits throughout your day. And if I follow these 7 tips, I can really count on a good night's rest now. So let's go over the 7. So our very first is quit caffeine at 2. Now you may have a different time, but for me, I know that if I'm enjoying caffeine, I need to give myself a good 8 hours to rebalance and process the coffee before rest. So I stop caffeine myself at 2 p.m., which is about 8 hours before rest. And now moving forward, I feel like I am getting up a little bit earlier, getting a bit more exercise and naturally tired by 9. So I'm actually going to bump that up to noon. That seems to work really well for me. Our second is to hydrate before 8. So to really ensure that you're not up using the loo all night long, I really highly recommend that you get in all of your water by 2. And even in the morning, before I can even have a cup of tea or coffee, I have 2 large pints of water before I can enjoy that coffee. And that really helps to get me feeling hydrated and not up all night. Now, my third recommendation is to set the stage. So remove all your electronics, have blackout curtains. This is really important because we actually know that we have light receptors on our skin. So it's important to have a really dark room. Also, declutter your space. That will really impact it. And maybe add a diffuser beside your bedside table and create your own little Zen den. And I'm going to give you a blog post later on that will tell you how to create a space like this. Now, the next is screen-free time, really important. So I've got a question for you. Is your iPad keeping you awake? Well, there's a nap for that. Okay, that was a really funny joke, guys. But really, so switching to candlelight, having a little bit of dim light, this is really known to kickstart melatonin production. So what I do is I just close the lights at 8, have just the bare essential light on, and really that starts to tell my body that it's time to start getting ready for rest. Now our 5th is to flood your room with fresh air. So cooler space is really known to get the body in a deeper state of rest. So do this before you turn on your diffuser. Number 6, layer for your wellness. So I always try to remind people that natural does work. And it's really important to give yourself time to reset that circadian rhythm. So keep up with a new routine for at least 1 week. And for me, when I was kind of making that transition, it took me a full month to really get in a deeper state of rest. So the final technique, and this one, I find that you can use this anywhere. You don't really need anything to do it, but it's breathing techniques. And there are so many out there on the internet, but I would look at maybe, searching them out. And a book that I really, really love is this one here. It's called Invincible Living by a lovely lady named Guru Jagat. And what I love about this book is that she talks about how to do a quick power nap. She gives you tons of wellness advice and a lot of different breathing techniques that are really easy to pick up. So those are my top rituals. So our next question is, what are some resources that you would recommend? Well, I have a few, and some of our content on the Wellness Home Hub is really, really great. So we have a blog post there called Your Personal Sanctuary. This is the one about creating your own Zen Den. We also have a podcast with a local Vancouver celebrity. It's called Rock Yourself to Sleep. So check that out. We also have another one called Sleep Like a Baby, about how sleep is impacted as parents. And some reading that I'd love to offer you is from my library. I have 3 recommendations. And the very first one is by the gentleman who also does our safety standards, or the world of safety standards. His name is Robert Tisserand. And this one is called The Art of Aromatherapy. And I love this book because it is a reference book, but you can read it, front to back. It took Robert Tisserand about 10 years to write this book. It has a lot of beautiful history on aromatherapy. It also has some really nice recipes, and I love that he touches on traditional Chinese medicine. So I highly, highly recommend this book. The next one is truly my go-to. This is my absolute favorite. This is called The Complete Guide to Aromatherapy, and it's by Salvatore Battaglia. Wanted to say that slow. But this is one of my favorite references. It truly has absolutely everything. But say, for example, you're looking up an essential oil. What I love is he adds all of the indications for every body system. So if you want to know about fur and your muscular skeletal system, your nervous system, respiratory system, he also talks a little bit about the energetics. He quotes a lot of experts in the field. So it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what everyone is doing. So this is another really highly recommended one. And then I also have a book here called Aromatherapy Science. And this is by Maria Liz Balchin. And this is a book that we've used over the years at Sage. And what I love about Maria is that she adds a lot of information on pregnancy, lactation, babies and children. I mean, she really adds everything in, but I really, really appreciate that about this book. So really, really great reference. And those links to those books, if you're interested, will be below. So now before we go, I just want to send out a little reminder that if essential oils are new in your life, that just know that they should be used with the greatest of care because they are powerful plant medicine. Less is always more in the world of aromatherapy. Another thing to remember is essential oils need to be diluted before you put them on topically. We don't recommend essential oils for just anyone. So you'll find all of the safety information on the label. And we will also add a section in the comments below just on some recommendations. So there you'll find stuff for children's bedrooms, if you're diffusing while pregnant, for sleep, and even if you're diffusing around pets that are sharing your sleeping space. So I hope that helps. So if you found this helpful, friends, please pass this link on to someone that you know who may need some sleep support. And, for no joke sleep issues, please seek the advice of a trusted healthcare practitioner. So now I'm going to put my comedy act to bed. And as I tuck in tonight, I really hope that the healing power of plants soothes your mind, leaves you feeling at peace like I know they do for me. And thank you so much for joining me. Let us know if you have any questions and take good care, friends. Bye bye.